Hello and welcome back. So we are actually cross-posting on my personal page, Danny's World, and also my business page at UBAWA, which is an acronym that stands for Urban Books, Authors, and Writers of America. It is a literary organization I founded back in 2010 as a means to provide a platform for underrepresented authors to expand their publicity, to expand their reach. So in this video, actually, I'm going to do a few things. First, I am going to reveal this book that we received in the mail for a free book review. I'm going to do like a book review preview to give you guys a little taste. For those authors who are tuning in, who are interested in having their books reviewed, this is a little preview so you guys get a flavor of my style, my personal style of book reviews. It's been a while though, I must say that. We are in 2024. Again, I founded UBAWA back in 2010, so we're talking about over 14 years. But within that span of 14 years, since we have been established, I, through UBAWA, have been doing a number of things, offering promotion via our website and social media pages. We've held 3 annual book conventions. Granted, it has been put on pause, given that I was pursuing my doctoral studies, which that is very time consuming. It takes a lot of effort, obviously, to do that. So I, being the founder, CEO, president of UBAWA, was primarily the brainchild or the force behind UBAWA and the book convention. And I figured that I needed to devote, all of my time to my doctoral studies. Now that I'm done with that, I am finished. I am now Dr. Leach, clinical psychology. I have more time to put back into my passion, right? One of my first loves, which is reading, writing, publishing, giving back to the community. And so within that 14-year span of time that UBAWA has been in existence, aside from the book conventions and the promotion that I offer via my website at ubawa.org, social media platforms is always at Urban Authors on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, obviously. We have done a number of book reviews. Now, I've done a small portion of those reviews, but I would say a significant portion of the book reviews that you will see on the website at ubawa.org were done by other authors and readers. And so it's been a while, but I feel good. I feel very motivated to kind of delve back into this. Now, of course, I'm not going to be the sole person doing the book reviews because that's a whole full-time job in and of itself. But I am going to kind of delegate some of the reviews to other readers, authors who are interested. So if you're watching this and you're interested in reviewing books, feel free to reach out via email at ubawafoundation@gmail.com, or you can just go to our website, UBAWA, spelled UBAWA.org, and click on the contact tab. And from there, you can express your interest in becoming a book reviewer. The book reviews are essentially free. There are different types of book reviews, though. So the basic is just you wanting the reviewer to post the review on Amazon.com. The standard is that it usually also goes on our website at ubawa.org and also on our social media pages. But a little caveat, a little kind of special thing that I've added is that not only that, you can also have a video review done, right? Which obviously is a kind of extra component to that. So here, I'm just going to give you guys a taste of what a video book review would look like if I'm doing it. I am very authentic. For those who know me, I'm like no holds barred. I am very transparent. I'm uninhibited. I'm very honest, right? So I'm mindful that everyone is a human being. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We all have egos and our own insecurities. But I think growth comes through honesty and transparency and people just being very forthcoming. And oftentimes people's growth becomes stagnated because people are not being honest with them. So I did receive this package this weekend, and it came from an author. Now, clearly, it came as a direct shipment from Amazon.com. So I'm going to say right off the bat, me being a stickler for packaging and design, like women call it OCD, but I think that it is beneficial, especially if you as an author are big on creating a brand for yourself. Right now, if you're already established, listen, you already got a whole slew of readers, regular readers that is, right? Not people that just kind of jumped on a bandwagon initially when you first became an author, but down the road, it's like, where's the support, right? If you have a solid, consistent following and support system, right? Maybe this isn't quite for you, but for those who are serious about building a brand for themselves, I think every aspect, right, of who you are as an author should reflect upon your work that you do, right? So if you deem yourself to be quality, right, and everyone's brand is different, but for me, I'm not a big fan of shipments that come like this, right, from Amazon. I think it'll be different, and I'm pretty sure readers can attest to this too, that if you receive a package in the mail, right, you're going to be more impressed, right? It's going to have a different impression upon you if it was custom packaged in the author's logo and their brand, right? But this is pretty much what we got here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. All right. So one thing clearly that I noticed off bat, and I just finished putting oil on my face. So now the oil is on the book. But one thing I noticed, I love the texture. So clearly it's a matte book design, cover design I like. So this book is by author Empress Simone. She has a long-standing history with Ubawa. And this is one of her books that she just sent for me to review. It's called The Power of Love, a Pan-African love story. Now, y'all know me being a Pan-Africanist immediately piques my interest. This is my first time actually seeing this book. Looking at the layout, I'm like, okay, it looks, I would say, semi-professional, right? Now, you listen, I have to give a disclaimer. You're an author and you want me to review your meat, right? Now, like I say, there are going to be a number of reviewers, which we had before. We had probably 4 or 5 different reviewers on our roster who would take in books and review them, right? Everyone has their own style of reviewing, but for me, like I said, I'm a very stickler for details. And I just do things very meticulously and very conscientiously. So I pay attention to everything. And I'm wondering, as I look at this, you can tell right off the bat that it is self-published. How do you know that? And this is a thing. Right? Because in looking at it, now, like I said, I like the texture. The layout of the book, the formatting, it's okay. But what gives it away that it is self-published? The cover. You probably can't see because the video, right? The lighting here in the video. But if you take a close look at the cover design, it is not complete, free from pixelation, right? It's kind of pixelated. The thing with books that are published by, like I say, one of the major publishing companies, which we know the big five mostly are centered here in New York City. Like, they obviously have the resources, right? And they have different departments that are designed for quality control in all aspects of the production of a book, right? So when we're talking about the quality of the cover design, the quality of the inside layout of the book, the formatting, every single aspect, marketing. And just looking at this, it's just like, it seems like maybe when she purchased the design, right? Because there are different designers online. I don't think it's hard to come across a book designer online. They range in price in terms of how much they charge for cover design. But it just seems like, yes, the cover may have worked for a digital, but print is completely different. And printers will, like, most printers have a built-in feature that they will tell you, like, wait a minute, this is going to show up blurry when it comes to print. It's low resolution, right? There's a thing called resolution. It's low resolution. So with that, it comes out a little blurry, right? Not to perfection. But I love the title of it, and I like that it's a Pan-African love story. So that already piqued my interest. I'm like, I already have some buy-in into actually reading this story. So my thing with books, right? I don't know if anyone else does this. When you go to look for a new book that you want to read, me, of course, you pay attention to the cover. But for me, I'll like flip to any random page, right? And then I'll see, I'll read a little bit and see if it gets my interest. So here, wow, another thing I noticed, and this could be a review copy, right? So I'll give her a little bit of leeway, because this could be an actual review copy, right? Review copies are different from the copies that are meant for purchase, for sale. So it doesn't have any page numbers, but let's go ahead. I'll read this. It says, once I finished speaking with the doctor, I called Empress to tell her where I was. Excuse me. She hung up, rushed patients to school, then came to sit with me. By the time I hung up from Empress, my family had started to arrive. Is this an autobiography? Or did she just use like her pen name as one of the characters' names? Because she goes by Empress Simone, and then the character's name is Empress. My family had started to arrive. The hospital notified them of the accident. They sat with me for a while. When Empress arrived, I introduced her to the fam, and they left. She sat on the edge of the hospital bed and grabbed my hand. Now, so far, her style of writing, like, what makes for a good fictional story is that the sentences are kind of concise, kind of straight to the point. Not too wordy, but it has enough words to kind of convey the point, convey the meaning, convey whatever is being said in the dialogue, So far, I see that she has been able to capture that. Of course, I'm not going to read this entire book here on this video, but I just want to give you guys like a little preview as to what to expect if you are an author requesting a book review. So there you have it. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was to go through some of these. I was kind of doing we call it spring cleaning, but for me, of course, it's still winter time. I just wanted to kind of go through some of the things that I have, because over the years, I've collected a lot of resources, like publishing resources. So I'm going to go through some of these that I actually ordered. Most of which I think I ordered back when I was living in Atlanta. Looking at the date on this. And then from there, after I go through these resources here, these publishing resources, I'm going to share my thoughts when it comes to choosing a publisher or a printer. I have this whole bin right here of books. I'm going to go through these. Most of which I've done reviews, or reviews have been done through my literary organization called Ubawa. So other reviewers have reviewed these books, and the review has been posted on our website. But yeah, so I'm going through this, and I was like, wow. This was back in 2011, December 1st, 2011. But I remember when I was living in Atlanta, I ordered several different samples from publishers or book printers to get an idea of the types of books, the quality of books, right, that they are able to produce. So here's one, for example. And of course, I do not endorse any of these printers or publishing companies. I have to say that. But I just want to review this with you all so you can kind of get a flavor. I know that many authors use what was formerly called CreateSpace, but now has been purchased, or kind of they collaborated with Amazon.com, Amazon KDP, direct publishing, where you can tell a book that has been published. I remember back in the day, you can really tell a book that had been published by CreateSpace because they just all kind of look the same in terms of the quality, the paper stock. And it annoyed me, right? But what I can say about this, granted, it's clear that this has been published by Amazon because the packaging, number one. But even the paper stock, like, they kind of up their game a little bit with the matte print and the paper stock. It's okay, but it's heavier, I would say, than your paper design from the traditional publishing companies, right? Like the, I would say, more professional publishing companies. This is relating to, most of these authors are self-published, so we're not dealing with a traditional or a major publishing company. But looking at this, right? So here they have the cost for printing softcover color text, and this is a color text book here. It has pictures in it, and this is just like a sample to show what it would look like if you were to print a book through this particular printing company. So 5.5 by 8.5, 80 pages goes for, if you order 50, a quantity of 50 goes for $4.75. Order a quantity of 600, which I think if authors are really invested in themselves and, you know, are really confident in their ability to sell, which you should be because this is your work, then you will order a large quantity. I mean, I know I would. So 600, $2.26 for 80 pages. And that's a small size book. Like this book here is like 64 pages. The quality is not bad, right? I think formatting makes all the difference. So if you can't do it yourself, which I realize some authors are so desperate, and not only that, they're overtaken by excitement to become an author, right? To kind of enter into this novelty experience. It's something new, something different, it's exciting, and they're not really thinking that they have limited information or no information about what it takes, right, to set yourself up for success. They're just jumping head in, right? And that can be a good thing. You can, you know, that can be a good thing in a sense that you jump right in and then you learn from your mistakes along the way. So there's different ways to approach it, different ways to go about it. And you ask authors, like, what would you change, right? Knowing what you know now, and now being, let's say, 5 years after they become an author, after they publish their first book, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently, if anything at all? And then some will say, you know what, like, I'll wait and try to do everything myself, right? When it comes to publishing a book, and once authors have learned that, oh, I can do this myself, This being everything from the editing, from the formatting, from the book cover design, from the actual printing of the book, right, and selling it. I can do it myself. They get so excited and they do things themselves, and there's a difference. There's a reason why there are professionals, right? Because professionals have many years of experience doing it. They know what a professional looking book looks like, right? They know what professional standards are, right? And they keep to those standards so that they can set you apart, right, from other authors. In a good way, that is, right? Not in a bad way, but, we live and we learn. So this is one. I do have to do some research to see if these companies still exist, because a lot has changed over the years. Here's another one. Wow, so this was back, trying to see the date. This was, this was a long time ago. This had to be before 2011, probably like around 2010. But this company is Ex Libris. And the thing about it, people don't know, so they're so like thirsty and hungry, to be an author and to sell their own books independently. And then they make some very costly mistakes. So it's one thing to say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to go out there and dive head first and dive right on in, right? And if I make mistakes, I make mistakes. That's how I learn. You learn from your own mistakes. But wouldn't it be better if you can learn from someone else's mistakes? And not have to make those mistakes on your own. Costly mistakes. It's different if it's like, okay, it's a mistake, but what did the mistake cost you? But some authors have made some very costly mistakes. I mean, dishing out thousands of dollars to publish a book, right? Through these ghost printing companies like Ex Libris. I remember a lot of authors got for their money because they had no idea what was ghost publishing. What is it? They didn't know. And so they come to find out these companies, right, they provide these kind of all-inclusive packages where they'll do everything. They'll design your cover, they will format it, they'll do everything that you can actually do for yourself if you were to contract, right, and hire professional people to do it, right, to cover the cover design of your book. If you need to, your website, right, to go along with your book, to cover the formatting, to cover the editing, right? They have companies like this, Ex Libris, that would do it and offer all-inclusive packages, right? When you look at the prices, they'll be charging like $1,000, $1,500, and it would just not be to professional standard at all. Like here's one. $20,000 package. It's like, why? They're paying excessive amounts of money that isn't really necessary. So they're getting essentially ripped off, right? Because they don't know any better. And this is like probably one of the first companies that pops up in their Google search, how to publish a book. I want to publish a book, right? I have a book I want to publish. Boom, this pops up, and they just go with the first thing smoking. And then are left to be disappointed. There are a number of book printing companies apart from Amazon. I mean, if you were to ask me personally, would I recommend people to print? Hell no. I can't even get the whole question out all the way, because it's a dead set no to not go through Amazon. Number one, first and foremost, I would say the quality. Unless they up their quality of their paper stock and of the actual cover of the book, right? Whether it's soft cover or hard cover, like that's first and foremost. The quality is not to professional standards when it comes to the stock of the paper. That to me is very important. Aside from that, it's I like. And I know this can be kind of controversial, a little political, but for me, I'm willing to go there. It's just like a lot of authors have complained that they wonder, how is their book being sold on the black market? Good question. What happened? And you have to ask yourself, okay, well, who has a copy of your manuscript for your book? Who has a copy of that? Who have you given a copy to electronically? for us at Obawa, we do not accept electronic copies of authors' books. So they be trying to send it to us for a review. I'm like, no, you have to send actual print copy of your book. Do not send us your book electronically, because number one, those email servers, Gmail and all of those other platforms that people send emails through, Yahoo, Gmail, is not safe. It is not protected. So there are hackers and people who are able to get what you're sending. You think you're sending it to one person, and then it can go to anyone. Anyone has access to it because it's not 100% safe, right, and protected. And so authors have complained that they wonder how they see that there are websites on the black market that have copies of their book for like $5,000, $20,000. Like, how did your book end up on those sites? And they end up there. Is no other way, because you're sending it to Amazon. Anytime you send your book electronically, especially if it's not on a safe, through a safe medium, which none of it is safe, right? You run the risk of it ending up on the black market. That's just how it goes. So I don't trust those platforms. I just don't. Reading the fine print, reading the terms and conditions of what it actually says on Amazon when you're uploading your manuscript to be sent to their printers. Right, and yes, you can probably opt out of having it published through their Kindle, but that's a whole other thing. Like, you got to be careful, and you're not really making that much money. They make more money off your book than you do. Anytime you're dealing with a company that makes more money off your book than you do, it's a no. That should be clear. But they feel like, okay, well, what are the other options? There are other options. There are other companies, and I've made a post, so you guys go check that out. Obawa has a wealth of resources. I be telling people, because they come to me. They'll message me privately on my personal page at Danny's World, or sending me an email asking me, oh, can you help me publish my book? No. How about you stop being lazy and join Obawa, which is free. Come on over to the Facebook page. Follow the Facebook page. Scroll up and down. It's a wealth of resources that you can be able to read for yourself and learn these answers to these same questions that you have. What are the other alternatives? I'm not going to say it here. Go to the page and you'll see other authors. This is a networking site. So I've created a platform not only to provide increased visibility for authors who are underrepresented, but also as a platform for authors, readers, publishers, publishing companies, editors, every aspect of the industry, so that you can network with each other, right, and get this information. It's free. But people, they just want things handed to them. They want to take the time, they would make up excuses. So listen, that's on y'all. Here's another one. Now, like I said, I do not endorse any of these, but I just thought that it was interesting that I still have this compilation here of different publishing resources, and some actually provide information. So here is one that I ordered this tool through, Virtual Bookworm Publishing Guide, and it has some helpful tips. Right, they're talking about choose print on demand or pod if you want to control book production, timing, and process, the content, title, cover, layout, format. It's choosing between a traditional publisher or publishing the book yourself, and that is often a question that people ask, like, should I go through a major publishing company? The thing with majors, right, like, they want to see, what have you done? What does your following, your network of people actually look like, independent of us? Like, what can you bring to the table on your own, right? Then we'll determine how are we able to help, They only want to come if you already have an established following, for the most part, or if you got a really good, compelling story that they know they're going to sell. It's very marketable, right? But with that, though, sometimes you do give up some of your creative control, right? So that's the trade-off to going with the traditional publisher, because they would like to have input. And this is the thing. This is why it's important to have an agent, a person that is well versed in the industry, because you don't want to get swindled. It's similar to like the music industry, right? They are so good at what they do, right? They're professionals, so they know how to use certain language to sell you anything, right? Like they say, sell ice to an Eskimo. It's just like they know how to use their words to convince you, to persuade you to do what it is that they want you to do. So you have to be attentive to that, right? And be keen to their tactics, because if not, then yes, you can be taken advantage of. You're just like, well, how did I sign up for this? How did I end up in this bad book deal? Don't be so thirsty. Similar to the whole analogy of, like they say, when you go on shopping, when you go in grocery shopping, it's recommended that you don't go on an empty stomach. You go well satiated, right? So you're not giving in to those impulses, right, of being manipulated and being controlled by your natural impulses of being hungry, right? Same thing. Many authors come into the game hungry. A lot of y'all come from, like myself, coming from a place of not having that many financial resources, right? So you're hungry. You're hungry for success, financial success. You're hungry to try to make it, and then you fall right into those same, pitfalls due to that thirst that you have, right? So you just have to be able to balance that out. It's good to be thirsty. That's a good position to be in, because you want it bad, right? And it means that you're motivated, you're driven. Something is driving you to create and to produce. But at the same time, that has to be balanced and maintained by discipline too, and thoughtfulness, and being informed, right, on what you should do, the right path you should go. It comes with experience, right? So this guide, let's see when this guide was published, back in 2010. Right, so like I said, a lot of these resources here that I'm going through come from that time period when we first launched Ubawa. But here it says, a changing publishing industry. Publishing as an industry has grown by almost 17% per year since 2005, and net revenues for all books reached $40.3 billion in 2008, according to Book Industry Study Trends 2009 report. So here in this guide, you talk about pretty much everything when it comes to publishing a book, how to get a copyright, and the importance of copyright protection, statistics, what is an ISBN, all the things that's necessary to publishing a book. Right, so another one is Digipod. It's a lot of different, book printers, but again, some authors have gone through this, and a lot of times you can tell, like, oh yeah, they use CreateSpace, which is now, like I said, Amazon KDP, or they use Digipod, right? Because the paper stock, it's a paper stock for me. And granted, yeah, they can come with the cream or off-white color. So the color, before you touch it, it may look like it's professional. But as soon as you put your fingers on it, for me, it's all about the experience, the texture of the book. And it just doesn't meet up to professional standards. Go into Barnes & Noble and you'll see what professional books look like, feel like, and smell like, right? What they weigh, all of the things. But I get it, I get it. Some people just want to say, I'm an author. Here's another one. This is actually an example of a book. So again, like I said, back then I was requesting a lot of different resources to get samples of what it looked like. This company is called Catawba Publishing. Again, I do not know if they exist. And again, I am not endorsing any of these companies, but I'm just opening the door for conversation related to different types of print-on-demand companies, and, what to look for when it comes like this. Just the formatting. To me, I'm not really impressed. I'm impressed by that, the formatting. I feel like, number one, there's too many words on the page. But they have different, styles here of what their formatting looks like. This looks more like it. More professional standard. Not bad. They talk about their preferred file types, like PDF is the main one. Yeah, so one author shared that she uses Barnes & Noble press. So a lot of companies, have it where you can print your book on demand through them. Here's another one. This is through Morris Publishing. And I think, is this for picture books? Let's see. Again, I ordered this way back when. This is 2011. So I don't know, again, if they are still in existence, but they print all kinds of stuff. Brochures, postcards, sales sheets, posters, book covers, all the things. I think if you ask me, it's better to own your own everything. Own your own print company. I remember I came across one author who actually would print his own books. Like he had his own printer and he would print his own books. I thought that was so impressive. So here's a sample here. As you guys can see, sample of one of their books. And like even on the surface, it looks very professional. I think it has a lot to do with the resolution of the cover, the print here that you see. Not pixelated. Again, I don't mean to point fingers, as you guys can see at the beginning of this video, where I did like a sample or a little taste, a little preview of what a video book review will look like if I'm doing one for an author who sent a copy of her book to me. And, it just... her cover, the words were kind of pixelated, blurry, essentially. It doesn't make for good quality. This is what your brand is, You ever, know how you go into a movie, right? And then, a certain actor is in the movie. It's going to be good, right? How do you know it's going to be a good movie? Because that the actor always delivers. That's brand. You know what to expect because they're consistent with their quality of performance and what they're going to bring, right? It's going to be a good movie. Same thing when it comes to publishing books. If you keep to that same consistency of a standard that you have, people know what to expect. Kiki Swenson, I have to use her for example. You know what you get, and you know you're going to get that raunchiness. You know you're going to get a good story anytime you come across one of her books. So you don't have to ask yourself, should I buy this? It's going to be good. You already know. You have to come with that, right? And you don't want to give a person any reason to say no. If you're really invested, right? If you're really serious about making money. Now, if you're just doing this because, it's a hobby or something you always want to do, that's a different level of being an author, right? It's different levels to being an author. But if you're at that point where you're like, you know what, I'm serious, but I want to make some money, then you have to really take your craft seriously. And don't be offended by, constructive criticism such as this. Because it's only how you're going to be better, And it comes with time. Some people just have to learn shit the hard way. A person can tell them one thing and they just have to learn it the hard way. So here's another one. Morris Publishing. What are they still around? Yeah, because you gotta think of the level of competition. There's so many authors out there who are publishing books. So why would a person choose your book considering they don't even know you, right? It's one thing if they know you and they're like, okay, I want to support her because I like her, I like her personality, she cool, we're friends, or whatever the case may be. But if you're at a book event, right, or you, like I said, a book fair, or you are hosting your own book signing, and you expect complete strangers, it's just like, okay, they may slip up and buy your book. They don't know you, right, off a GP, but then they may not come back. Why? Because come on, what are you producing? Subpar quality stuff. Another company, Wasteland Press, which I can tell right off the bat. But this is a sample that they sent. Number one. Like what? But yeah, definitely not a company I would go with. I believe these are all POD companies here, print on demand companies. This is a company called Wasteland Press, based out in Kentucky. But I'm just not feeling the cover. Just not speaking to me. But someone else may like it. What do y'all think? So yeah, a lot of these print-on-demand companies, like this is another thing about just knowing and having experience. So some of y'all are easily persuaded or influenced, and you let people sell you shit. Never let somebody sell you anything, right? You can buy things that you like, that you're interested in, but never let somebody sell you on something. It shouldn't go that way. And so, these companies will sell you on some things, and you have to ask. So just as I'm able to, this was back then, able to request, because they want your business, right? They want you to trust them with your book, to print your book. This is your baby, okay, of all things. So with that, yeah, you can ask for samples. If they can't provide samples and you cannot do business, I would never do business with a person that I don't even know, what am I doing business with, right? What is your work like? I don't even know the quality of your work. I am not giving you money or time unless I know the quality of the work that you're selling. It's a two-way street. You're giving them money. They're providing you a product, printing your book. So yes, you have the right to request to the company, let me get a sample package because I need to see. Now, unless they came to you highly recommended, other people, right? You may know some other authors who dealt with them. You've seen, you touched their work. You know what the business is. Then that's different. Here's another one, which I was like, okay. This is called Print Ninja. Let's see. They sent me a lot of different things. Let's go through this. I don't even know if they are still in existence. Again, like I said, this was way back when. It's showing 2013. Wow, 2013. All right, so let's see what they have. Your samples have arrived. And of course, prices change over the years, So at the time, I was interested in publishing children's books. Okay. So these books clearly are made for our little friends, little babies. And this is their sample of what their books look like, which I think it seems to be of quality. Not looking at these pictures here on there. Again, this is a sample, but just looking at the quality of the actual book itself. All right, here's another sample that they sent. More in color. It seems very durable. So just based off this alone, that would make me say, all right, they legit. Right? It's quality. That would make me want to see a little bit more, like learn a little bit more about how much does it cost. I'm sure they have that in here somewhere. Here's another children's book that they have here. I got bent. It didn't come like this, but like I said, I had this for a long time. So, children's book. Quality. It's all about quality. Looking at the binding of the book. I actually like it. It's quality. Let me see. Did they include a price list here? I wonder if they are still in existence, because you'll have a lot of companies that were here then, but they're not here now. They're based out of Oregon. So that's something to look into to see. But the idea is that when you go with the print on demand, the cost to print the book for you as the author or the publisher should be low, right? And so that way you're able to make a profit off of it when you sell it, when you put it on the market. That's the whole idea, you know? So you think of, you know, how much would a book like this go for? You know, maybe $15.99, $12.99, right? Depends. And so the cost to print this should be at a price point that you can gain a decent profit, especially when you take into account the cost of shipping and handling too. That's the idea. All right, and so I think this is the last one. This came from 48 Hour Books, another print-on-demand company. And I've been in the industry long enough to have a lot of resources. This ain't even the tip of the iceberg, y'all. I have a lot of different resources in terms of editors, reputable editors, book cover designers, you name it. Print-on-demand companies, but I don't know if they do formatting, but I am definitely not feeling I like the quality though. The quality of it seems nice. This could be like a magazine, I guess you could say, like a magazine print. Smells really fresh. But that formatting, I don't know. I don't know if they do formatting. You probably want to hire a formatter or do it yourself. You know, because taking into account, think about formatting, right? Most people may have the general techniques in terms of the size, what the size of the font should be, right? And the margins. But the tricky part comes with these internal margins here, like the inside where the binding takes place. That's where you have to set the margins, you know, a little bit different than you would for the outer margin. So, yeah, it's a lot of specifics when it comes to publishing. And here's another sample that they provided, hardback cover. But 48 Hour Books. They may still be around because they were very popular back then. All right, so those are the resources I'm going to show you guys. Now I'm going to go through this bin and show you guys the books that Ubawa has received from various authors across the country, United States. And our reach is pretty vast. Like we're international now. I won't say damn near international, but no, we've actually been international. Thanks to these social media platforms like Facebook. I definitely give much props to Facebook because I don't know where it would be if Facebook didn't exist, to be honest. Like Ubawa was built on Facebook with us creating a Facebook group, a fan page, and since the rest is history. Like the following just took off very rapidly. Of course, I give myself props too, because if it wasn't for my creativity and just knowing how to build a platform on these social networking sites, not everybody is able to do that. I have to say that, and know how to keep people engaged, keep people coming back, and building trust within that dynamic to the point where people are willing to pay money. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah, the trust has been established to a point where, people are willing to spend $50, $100, $250, $500, right? Sending this, to a person they never really met in person, face to face, right? Like I said, we've hosted 3 annual book conventions going on the 4th. The only reason why we went on a hiatus from that was because I was moving around. So I left New York in 2016 to move to LA to pursue my PhD, which I obtained in 2021. And with that, granted, we were able to host the 3rd annual book convention in LA, but then that was our last because I was very focused on getting my PhD. And now that I'm licensed and I'm practicing, like I'm ready to go ahead and resurrect it and continue full speed ahead. So yeah, and with that, those authors who join, these conventions, they coming from different parts of the country, right, to sell and to promote their work, so that definitely obviously takes some skill and some work on my behalf, but I do attribute a lot of our success to just the ease of these platforms and the different features that have are built in to kind of promote this sense of community. So shout out to Facebook. Here's another book. I'm not going to spend too much time hopefully here, but it's a lot. Like y'all see this bin right here, you can see it in the cut. It's full with books. She actually attended the 3rd Ubawa Book Convention. At least she's based out in LA. Author called Barbie Scott. One of her books. Let's look at when was this published? To Ubawa, thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope you enjoy this. Some of these books we have not got a chance to read yet. So this is 2016. But that was a kind letter that she wrote. Now that I actually have more time, I actually might go back and read some of these. Most, I would say, a significant number of these books have been reviewed already, and you can find the review on our website at ubawa.org, and even on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook album entitled Book Reviews. But she put a little note there to say review copy. Not bad though. I would say here, I'm noticing something off rip with the margin. It's a very tiny margin at top, and it shouldn't be that way. I think it should be a little bit more space with that margin at the top. But other than that, not bad, not bad. This is D.L. Timor. I'm sure that we promoted her as well on our Facebook page, social, and website. Dedicated to the memory of my great-grandmother. Copyright 2013. I like the cover design, though. I like that in the back. Beautiful. So, yeah, some books, when you see them, they stand out. Some books, you're like, What often gets me, like, when, authors, they reach out, they want to be promoted, to increase their visibility, online. And, of course, we ask for an author bio, ask for an author photo, ask for the book cover, synopsis, website. And it's just like, some authors, they got shit down pat. Like, they got their shit together. And I be like, okay, but then you got authors, they don't have a professional author photo. And I get it, because not everybody, people make excuses. I feel like that's what it is. Because when it comes, especially nowadays, now I get maybe, okay, back 2010, 2011, the phones were different, though. They still have iPhones, though. Right? So there are ways to capture your essence as an author in a self-made photo that you take or someone else takes for you. There are ways to do that, especially if you have an iPhone. You can create portrait quality types of pictures, right? Where you have like the background kind of blurry, right? Which accentuates what's in the foreground of the picture. It's all about the lighting too, right? Having appropriate lighting. Nowadays, everybody got a ring light, right? One of those little circular lights. I'm using one now. Or the lights that people use to do makeup, right? It's a little small little light you sit on a little desk. Boom. You got enough lighting to bring out the features in your face, right? And to smear out any wrinkles or bags. Wear something nice. So what used to irk me is authors that would send pictures of they're in the bathroom, right? You can clearly see they're in the bathroom with the shower curtain in the back, right? Or pictures where they're in their car. I'm asking for a professional author photo, and these are the photos they would send. And I'm like, there's nothing kind of clicking in your brain that says this is not professional. But then they don't know. So it's just like they continue to go on like that. They probably around other people who claim they support them, but they're not telling them. They're not telling them the truth. They're not putting them on game like, come on, what are you doing? Right? And so they'll send you this. And not only that, they expect you to publish this on your website, in the magazine, right? Like, you don't never know who might see it. So, whatever. Let me get off my soapbox. But here, clearly, there's a lot wrong with this. It's the margins. You're never supposed to have text that, come on, you got no space. That text should not be proceeding all the way to the edge of the book. It's just bad on the eyes, right? And you may feel like I need to have all of this in my synopsis. No, you do not. That's another thing. Some authors don't know how to write a good, poignant synopsis that captures what you want potential readers to know about the book. Because that's one of the first places they go. I know for me, I look at the book, the front, right? Sometimes I may do this and I'll flip to the back like, okay, get an idea. What is this book about? There's too many fucking words. It's just too much. Formatting on the inside, same as the back cover. It's going too far over. And so who wants to read? I mean, this is the perception. It's just like, okay, if the formatting is off, if the book cover quality is crappy, the writing has to be a piece of shit, It's probably a lot of errors. It may not be. But then that's the assumption. You don't want people to assume anything. You want to dispel any room for assumptions. It takes work. Here's another one. But I get it. So a lot of these books, you can see, like, these authors, you can see the progression they've made over the years with their degree of professionalism, right? As it's reflected in their books, in their covers. Like, you can see, like, okay, they have grown. And so you'll know, okay, this is in the beginning phases of that author's career. So let's see when this was published. And I'm sure their books are not the same. 2013. Okay. But yeah, I have plenty. G2BG. I think this is a book of poetry here. And then with the oversaturation of authors in the self-publishing industry, right? There's a lot of repeat. There's a lot of duplicate. Like, you'll see the same characters on different covers made by different authors. It's just like, I've seen the same person on like 10 different authors' books. The same person on the cover. It's just like, y'all have to be creative. But they feel they don't need to. Now this author actually kind of like working with him. And he's also featured on our website at ubawa.org and in the Ubawa magazine. Handsome gentleman, by the way. This guy. But look, yeah, like, because it's professional looking. Like, look. Professional. Now, the paper stock may not be to my liking necessarily, but at least the formatting is, you know, it's a lot of words on each page, but I don't think this genre of book, though, is not really my type. But if it was, wait, let me see. It says Christian Brookwater is a former Georgia plantation slave who became a vampire during the 1860s. So he grew up in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and attended Long Island University, where he won several scholarships before he graduated with a bachelor's in media arts. He has written for television in recent years, works as a stage manager. See, perfect bio. Like, it's so refreshing to come across authors whose bio, number one, is written in third person. I'll be receiving like some bios first person. Like, come on, yo. Right? And then it's like I have to rewrite their bio for them in order to publish it on the website and in the magazine. Perfect, though. Very succinct. It talks about who this person is. Not that you can't mention your other accomplishments, right? But you kind of want to make it centered around your identity as an author. You have like authors talking about, oh, I won this pageant. Like, let's just kind of make it relatable, right? But they'll be talking about shit ain't got nothing to do. This has nothing to do with their present identity as it stands. It's just like, I like Joy. She actually was featured as an author at our 3rd annual book convention in Los Angeles back in 2016. For the same year, I moved to LA. Later that year, we held the 3rd annual book convention. She's a spoken word artist. I really, 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 really like her. Very humble, very strong, courageous woman. Very talented. HM Trey. Okay. Different font. I like that. I like it. I can go for it. Even though there's a lot of words on the back, but you tell it's properly formatted. Yeah, like either some people got it, some people don't, right? Some got it, some don't, but yeah. There's really no complaints. You want to make sure when a person pick up your book, they ain't got nothing to complain about because it's to perfection. I like her too, Kayla Hunt. She's another one I like. Some authors you like working with because they just their experience. They mean, you don't have to have like infinite years of experience, but enough experience to the point where they got a decent bio. They have a decent author photo, right? Headshot. Ooh, my pussy is wet. I'm so on. I love romantic books. And even, boom, she included a bookmark. This is good branding. It's like I was doing a review on these socks that I ordered from this high-end accessory designer based out here in New York called Adinkra Republic, right? So his socks, each of his socks kind of carry meaning tied to the Adinkra symbols, which is kind of indigenous to Ghanaian culture in West Africa. And so when you purchase from him, you're getting quality, right? From the design of his bags, just high fashion, high quality. And this is an African man, a black man, right? So we gotta up our standards. This is another matted book. Something about the mat. I love the mat. Not bad. I guess I don't know. I feel like this could have been different. The font here. There's something going on with that. But not bad. Not bad. Nikisha Mock. But yeah, you have to live and you learn. Just like this is another book where the formatting. Nah, that should not be bleeding through the margins. The margins are too narrow. Really don't have any margins, but I love the cover design of it. Another one, Gerard Morena, I'm saying, was he at our first annual book convention that took place in Atlanta, Georgia? So our first one was back in 2013, took place in Atlanta, Georgia. Kennedy DeVoe. It's been a while since I've heard from her, about her. Unless she uses a different pen name. A lot of authors be switching up their pen name. Very beautiful woman. Some of these authors have made the cover of the Bawa magazine. Again, another bookmark. And with their bookmark, they have their other books. Oh, it goes like this. They have their other books. Okay. Boom. Boom. Right? Good branding. It's a lot. Let's just kind of go through these. I ain't even halfway through this bin here, but it's a lot. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Another one. I'm just going to just show you guys. I'm not really going to go. Oh, wait. This one, the font, like who's reading this? You can tell she did it by herself. Ain't no way she had somebody else proofread this and they allowed her to print. There's no way. You see how tiny? Maybe you can't see. But that is too tiny of print. That shit's going to hurt your eyes. If you're not blind, you're going to go blind reading this book. Imagine me putting that as a book review, right? You review your book? I'll review your book, all right? Let's start with the basics. It's another one, Devon Lilly. I like him. I believe he was also an author featured at the Obama Book Convention. It's a very thick book. There's a lot to say here. Release date, August 10th, 2013. There's a little card there. Postcard, I love it. I love it. To Ubawa, thank you. We love you. I love you all back. I love you. And a lot of authors definitely, when they say they love Ubao, they really do, because we were one of the first and only platforms, especially back then in 2010, that really paid tribute to underrepresented authors, including African American authors, urban fiction authors. Like we were that, and we're still that. But since, of course, there are other entities that have sprang by being motivated, sprang up that been from being motivated by what we've done, right? So, but you can try to copy us, but you can never duplicate. You just can't. You can't. That's another one. The reason why that there will never be another Ubawa is because Ubawa, the place that Ubawa was birthed from, and that kind of ties into my story, American Dreamer, my autobiography. If you knew like how Ubawa was birthed, then you'll see that this business, this entity, is only for me. Like the saying goes, what God has for you is for you, and nobody can take it from you. Nobody can destroy it. Nobody can do anything. Nobody can copy it, duplicate it, because it's for you and you only. Football was one of those things, right? It was just like a gift from the universe to me, and me allowing myself to kind of step away from corporate for a little bit and give back. I'll just keep it at that. It's much more to the story, but yeah, Bauer definitely is a treasure. And that's why I actually like the formatting here. That's why they love us. You know, there are some people who are just gifted and they're just talented. It's just meant for them. Like when you see, social media influencers who are making millions of dollars, right? Like you just know, like, it's their time and they're walking in their purpose. It's meant for them. It's meant for them to blow up on social media and to leverage millions of people, right? And to be able to make a living off of making videos, because that's for them. So likewise, in the same vein, Ubawa is for me. This is definitely a passion that is just natural born, and heaven sent by the universe. I love her author photo, right? Professional. So like I said, some of y'all be making excuses. I ain't got enough money. Blah, blah, blah. How you don't have enough money? You have enough money for what you want to have money for. Because remember back in the day, a photo at JCP don't cost that much. Especially if you're talking about one. And there are people who are up and coming photographers who want to build their portfolio. When I first moved to New York, it was like at least 3 different photographers that I was able to get free photo shoots from. They approached me. I was like, hey, took pictures of me, showed me the picture, or asked me, hey, can we do a photo shoot? Because I'm trying to build my portfolio for free. So there's no excuse. And if you network with people online, you'll come across free or low-cost photographers who are trying to build their platform. Who is this by? It's hard to even read. Oh, Gumbo. It's hard to read their name. But yeah, for the free, you hear me? And then there's Fivers. Like these things you will learn if you actually were you joined our page. Hope you enjoy 2016. But you have to join our page in order to know about these things. And I'll be telling y'all, it's like y'all this is the issue. A lot of y'all want to follow bullshit. That's what it is. You like drama, and that's fine to be entertained, to kind of detach yourself from reality, right? As a break, right? Having the comedic release. Those things are okay because you need balance. But at the same time, like if you want to become an established, successful author, how are you investing in such? Right? Where are you spending? How are you spending your time? I love it. Love it. Jennifer J. Hayes, Bound by Memphis. I love it. She used Outskirt Press to do her book, and it looks very professional. And the words are just emanating from the page with this print. Probably can't see it, but yeah, it's like you can tell the printer had good ink in it. Right? It's just very professional looking. Yeah. I like the paper stock that she used. Cheryl Grace. Oops. A lot of them sent like little cards or bookmarks. It's a different color book, different design book. To the wonderful people at Obawa Foundation, I hope you enjoy the book. Yes, yes, yes. So again, like I said, for some of these books, you can go and check out the review on our website at obawa.org. You can learn about the author on our website. There is a search feature on the website, a little search box. You can just type in what you're looking for there, and it should come up. You can also go to our page on Facebook, Obawa. Larry Singleton. Christina O. 5 Prints Publishing. Looks professional. Looks professional. Feels professional. Must be professional. So this is produced by Zane. And most people who know Zane know what you're getting when you get a Zane book. Quality. You see what I mean? Now this, you can tell this is done by Simon & Schuster, which is one of the big 5 here in New York. And just look at the paper stock. It's different. It's lighter, actually. And weight. The texture feels different. It actually feels softer. The texture feels much softer than the paper stock of books that are usually published by self-published authors. You know, I'm not knocking y'all, all right? I definitely want to encourage people, but I want to highlight that it's so important. Quality is everything, y'all. It's everything. It will make or break your brand. And y'all got to get that through your head. Devante. Hot Books. Not bad. It's a lot of words, though, on the page. And the margins. But not that bad, though. So these are 2 books by the same author. Priced at $14.99. Books galore. And I did pause in accepting book review copies because, as you can see, sometimes it can be overwhelming. But here's another book by my friend Joy. She just has such a beautiful spirit about her. This is a picture of her right there. Y'all watching this while I get some ideas. So there's nothing wrong with being inspired by another person, but when you copy, that's a problem. Inspiration is one thing, but copying, don't do it. Be unique. Kaylin Hunt, another one of hers. B.B. Dumas. Some of these authors here have been with Obawa since our inception back in 2010. And I did a I created this trivia contest of only, I think, 9 questions. If you answer all 9 correctly, and the trivia link is posted on our website, then I think I was giving away, how much? $100? It's yours. It's that simple. And we have contests all the time. There's another contest running too on Ubawa. It's too late to be a part of the contest, but you can participate by voting. Where I think it's how many? Probably about 50 authors, different authors submitted their book covers for the contest. It's a book cover contest, essentially, and it's happening on Facebook. There's an album entitled Ubawa's Best Book Cover Contest, and so I believe the last votes will come in February 29th. I think, go check, double check. But the person who receives the most votes or the most impressions or likes on Facebook for their book cover will receive $250. It's all yours. Cash, baby. It's going to be all there. And this is our first book cover contest. So we've done a number. I lost count, but a number. There's been cover contests where the prize was $300, right? And so it gets kind of pretty competitive at times. So this is an author, for example, as you guys saw earlier in the video where I was going through those publication samples for print on demand. And Ex Libris was one of the companies. So this author here, she actually published through Ex Libris. She became one of their test dummies, one of their victims. But listen, you can just talk to the authors themselves and ask them directly, hey, what has been your experience? Some will say, oh, it's okay, right? So definitely the formatting here looks professional because clearly they do have on their team professional people, but it's just the cost. It's the cost, you know? When you don't really have, and then, you know, I think they control all aspects of it. So yes, you get to pick like the design of your book, but they're doing the design, they're doing the editing, they're doing all of that, and the selling, the promote, like it's just not. And then they're charging you. Kind of backwards if you ask me, because they're making money off of the authors. Digital publications. Seems like a lot going on in this cover right here. Just seems like a lot. They actually get sent 3. Dominance versus Dominance. Secret of Dominance. Fightville, North Carolina. What's this about? Oh yeah, show me that pretty pussy. Tony knelt down on the floor in between my thighs. Tony positioned his hands on each side of my head. He was in a push-up position. Damn, he was fine. He slid his dick into my pussy. My thing is this. It's like, you can tell a beginner writer because just their choice of words, right? So anybody know that in storytelling, if you want to be good at it, you don't tell, you show. So she tells us he was fine. How can you show us? Show us that he's fine. So that takes a little bit more thought, a little bit more skill to show. You can say, oh, it was hot outside. How can you show, though? Because everything has to become visual. You want to create a picture in the reader's mind of what you're depicting in your story. Show us everything. It really should be called story showing, not storytelling, right? It's another one of her books. Cynthia Blue. But from my experience, authors have been very fun to work with. They're very down to earth, cordial people. K.L. Hall. This looks very professional. Yeah, you can tell she got the right type of resolution for her print. It's not pixelated at all. nothing about her cover says pixelation at all, which is great. That's what you want. No pixelation. I like it. I just, like I said, I don't like the stock. So you can tell this is printed by CreateSpace or Amazon, which they kind of merge together, CreateSpace and Amazon. A lot of companies are doing that, merging. James Fan, he's also been featured in our magazine and on our website. Just saw something that was up. I'm hungry. I have not eaten. I'm still fasting. I gotta break my fast for today. Not bad, not bad. Another Cynthia Blue. This is like a little mini novel, but yeah, the print. Again, the print. Who is reading that? Who is reading that? So the thing is, yes, the goal, the idea is that you send me a copy, a review copy of your book, and I will read it and I will do a review. But again, there are a number of books that have been sent to me for review, and I have not even touched. Because it's just not worth my time to, sorry for my honesty, but it's just not worth my time to touch them. But again, like I said, now that I have more time, I actually may revisit some of these. A number of these I've already done reviews, or reviews have already been made for these books. But yeah, The Margins, another book, or Margins. Ooh, I love this one. I just like the matte. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Nisha Lene, girl, I love it. I love the matte. I love everything about it. Back in 2016, she also wrote a little note there. Poem. Kaylin Hunt, she be on it, y'all. Some of these authors have published like countless number of books. They be on it. Because that's the thing. It's like once you get the hang of it, right, you know the process that it takes to get a book from your mind out into the market. You've done it a few times, right? You've kind of perfected it, right? The more you do it, the more practice, the better you get. And so with that, some authors use it as their coping skill. Thought we already saw this one, but this is Kaylin Hunt. I guess she sent multiple copies. But yeah, some people take to writing, and not just writing, but publishing books as a coping skill. And they be on it. Look at this. Voice of My People. It's like compilation of poetry. Karma. Karma is a funny thing, sort of like a boomerang. No matter how far you throw it, it shall come back. For I was blind, no sense of emotions, feeling like a boxer just looking for an opponent playing the game. Got me caught up. Heavy investigation caused the separation, running around like a cornerback, intercepting my voicemails, texts. Now she hurts from my dirt. Okay, listen, everybody got a story to tell. That'd be the thing. Everybody. I actually like this author. He's African. Oh, Author House was another one. I think they were Ghost Printer too. They may have also offered print on demand. Some do both. You see Author House. Is Author House still around? Those who are watching this? But these Afeni. Where is he? It's been a while since I heard Enoch Anua. It's been a while since I've heard from him, but yeah, he's been around from our beginning too as well. Regina Hall. She's been around. Graduated from Norfolk State College. I want to say she's a retired teacher, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, she was an elementary school teacher. Very nice lady. It's one of her books. I think I did review that one. Some of these books I do remember reviewing. I think I did this one too. Samaya. Anita Hudson. Wait, I think, was she at our book convention that took place in 2015 in New York? This name definitely rings a bell. I want to say she was, though. I think I'm mixing people up. I want to say she was Anita Hudson. I think she's Indian. And now I gotta double check to see. No, this is nice. This is a book of poetry. The Wait is Over. Marcus Greg Taylor. Smart to have on your books. Danielle, you are going to do a lot of amazing things because you set yourself as a servant first. Many blessings to you. Much love. Marcus Greg Taylor, September 2016. Or September 16. This book was published 2012. So that definitely is true. Especially that was me back then. I put other people before myself. I gave tremendously during that time, back in 2010, 2014. I gave a lot of myself. And even during that time, so I founded Ubawa in 2010. 2011 to 2014, I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. During that time, I did not own a computer. Your girl was going through a struggle phase, okay? So I'm giving y'all a little backstory of what kind of motivated Ubawa, where Ubawa sprang from, and hence why Ubawa is so successful. Because Ubawa sprang from, like I said, the rose that grew from concrete. Like, your girl was struggling, broke, and from that, I felt motivated to just give back, and I knew it would come back to me. And like I said, I didn't have a computer of my own, but I would go to the library, and so that's when Ubawa's website was housed on webs.com under the official Authors Corner, or the Authors Corner.webs.com, but it was like I had purchased a domain name, but it was housed under that particular company, webs.com. And I remember like going to the library and promoting authors, building the website first and foremost at the public library, where there's a limited amount of time that you can use a computer, right? And depending on, I think it was it DeKalb, depending where I was, or in Gwinnett County, it's like they give you 30 minutes at a time, right? An hour at a time, and some would have a max of like 2 hours per user per day. And so with that, I remember just going there knowing I had a limited amount of time to do what I needed to do, right, on the computer. Most of what I did was promoting, right? So, promoting authors on social media, promoting authors on my website. So yeah, giving a lot of my time answering questions, providing resources, giving advice. I like this. It's nice. it kind of creates an optical illusion. It seems like one of those images where if you look at it a certain way, it looks one way. But you look at it a different way, it looks like something else. You see something else. So, yep. Wawa has come a long way, and y'all just don't know. And Wawa is a lot more that's going to become of Wawa in the coming years. I have a lot of great things underway. Taryn Grimble, I want to say, yep, I reviewed this book. Some of these books do stand out, so just go check out the review on the website, wawa.org, just by typing in the name of the book. Can't stand the rain. Latita Wagner. I like the cover. So that picture that she took, it doesn't look like a professional took it, but it seems like it could be, professional standard. Look. Right? Like, it seems like she had someone else take it for her, right? But it'll do when it comes to promotion and advertisement. Another one by Cynthia Blue. Oh, this is a big book. And some authors, they admitted to making a mistake on the size of their book, right? Print. They're like, oop, I fucked up, right? Because this is supposed to be, it's like you look at this book, you wonder, like, okay, what kind of book is this? It's supposed to be a fictional story. I mean, clearly it looks like it. It's dialogue in it, chapters. It's a fictional story. And so with that, this is published in 2014. Most fictional stories are not this size. So this is clearly the incorrect size. The formatting is not to industry standard. So there you have it. Oh, translated by Anita Hudson, but it was by Waleed Tahir. They gave me more than one copy. W.N. Stanley. And another one. To Danielle Leach, thank you for all that you do. They're so grateful. At our first book convention, we had nearly 100 authors featured there at the convention in Atlanta that took place in 2013. Wait till the next one, though. I have some ideas. I have some ideas underway. It is going to be lit. It is definitely going to be lit. The cover makes you want to read the book. There are some books like that where you look at the cover and you're like, "Oh, I want to learn more about this." I believe I reviewed this book too as well, by Sheila Yvonne. Raped. I like the color. All right, we're getting down to the wire here. So a few more. Christine Pauls. Another one that has been featured on our website. This is her book. Fade to Black. Another thing that we would do through BAWA is radio interviews. So I'm trying to recall how many we've done. At least over 15 radio interviews in a very short span of time. We were doing them like weekly, back to back. I had actually two hosts that will conduct the interviews. This was back when Blog Talk Radio was hot. I don't even think that it is still hot anymore. Like, oh my gosh, things have changed drastically. So yeah, nowadays people just do podcasts on Facebook or YouTube. That's the platform to do interviews. They really wasn't doing it there back then. Back then it was a Blog Talk Radio. It's funny, yo, Blog Talk Radio. If anybody remember, that was a shit. Another one of his books, Stephen Van Patten. It's a children's book here. Where is Bear? Well, this is a neat milestone moment. By age 2, most children begin to run. By age 2, most children begin to include others in chase games. Interesting. Okay. Okay, then I wonder, did this book come from one of, I don't know if they came from one of the Obawa's authors or not. Another book that used matte texture for the cover. I love it. I love it. K.F. Johnson. I don't know why authors use the white color stock. Why do they do that? I think it's kind of hard on the eyes. Love Change is another one. That is the matte. What else do we have here? It's a lot of books, right? Books galore. The Black Truth Behind White Lies. This looks like fictional story. Oh no. And that part that I just read seemed like it was fictional. Professor Marvel looks through crystal balls and predicts things about her running away. He says his crystal ball was used in the times of Osiris and Isis, the Black King and Queen. He looks through the ball and sees Dorothy's aunt. Oh, I see. Compare the economic tornado to the movie The Wizard of Oz. I was like, wait, that seems very fictional. Okay. David Lee. I'm not sure. This book, probably not. Or was it? Let me see. Let Us Film You. Who is this? Ironbird Films. I have tons of resources. Okay, Tamika Newhouse. I think I bought this from her at one of the fairs in Atlanta for Sisters Only, and we took a photo together. Now, she actually has books that are published mainstream through mainstream publisher, but then she also has her own independent publishing company. So she used white paper stock. I would not do that for fictional stories, but this is one of her books. Nathaniel Jones. Okay. J. Asmara, another classic author, has been featured on Obawa. Ben Burgess, where you been at? It's been a while. Like, some of these authors make you wonder, like, where are they now? We'll have to do a series. I have a lot of different features that we've entitled, different things like the Who's Who in Urban Literature, the Books Without Boundaries, the Black Women in Literature, Black Men in Literature series. We got to do a Where Are They Now series featured on Obawa. Seriously, though, because it's like a lot of these authors, they were hitting back years ago, and it's just like, what happened? You don't really hear about them. Like, where are they? Seriously. So this is a prison outreach. Some books that, believe it or not, I mean, granted, like I gave much props to Facebook for being able to have a platform where we can connect with people near and far. And so with that, a lot of people have reached out to me, even from the prison, like inmates. And somebody asks how they even get access to a phone. They got phones in prison, you know. There's a will, there's a way. And so I created this section where people can donate books to send to inmates who are in prison. And here's some I sent a lot of them out already. Here's still some here. And this came by a publishing company who sent these out. Whole publishing company. Send a collection of books there. Let's see. So we have a few more, and then I'll be wrapping this video up. And for the longest, I definitely have contemplated in opening a bookstore for Ubawa. It will be more than just a bookstore, though, you know, because bookstores are kind of fading away. They're becoming obsolete, so to speak, with the advent of all this technology. People kind of prefer to be virtual, on screen, and that kind of has replaced, I think, the in-person connection that once was there. A lot of bookstores have faded out, you know. Roaring Books A Million, gone. A lot of Barnes & Noble bookstores have shut down. I remember I did a video where I was out in Santa Monica when I lived in LA, and to see that the Barnes & Noble out in Santa Monica shut down. I used to go out there, very nice bookstore. I think it was like 2 or 3 stories high. Gone, right? Meanwhile, here in Upper East Side, they actually opened a Barnes & Noble location. So, you know, they come and they go. But yeah, there's not that many Black-owned bookstores. That's a problem. There is one in the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall out in LA. That one is still there, as to my knowledge. And that I left back in 2020, so I don't know if it's still there. But last I checked, it was there. So, Charles Davis. Eartha Watt, so she was featured at the 2nd annual Bible Book Convention in New York. She was very helpful. She gave me some tips as how we could increase participation. This is cool. This is a magnet. How many authors put their books on a magnet? So these are things that you can do, right? When it comes to promoting your work. Some authors, they're like one-hit quitters, right? So they're just like, what do you call it? One-time wonder or whatever. You know, they release one book and then you don't hear from them ever again, unfortunately. That's how some are. That's another one. It's not that many pages. So, for example, as I said, like we would do prison outreach. This is a letter that came from North Carolina Department of Public Safety, Publication Review Committee from the prison. And I think, if I can recall correctly, they were saying that the book was inappropriate. It says that this letter is to advise you that the following publication sent to an inmate of the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Prisons has been disapproved for delivery to the inmate. And the book was entitled Dear God, Hear My Prayer by Lakeisha Johnson. Makes you wonder, how is that deemed inappropriate? This action was taken for the following reasons: in violation of Code K. See attached code definition. So, makes no sense, but they say they have their reasons. So here, code K, it says sexually explicit material which by its nature or content poses a threat to the security, good order, or discipline of the institution or facilitates criminal activity. In addition, pictorial materials which depict exposed, full frontal view of uncovered human genitalia. Now, granted, looking at the name of the book, Dear God, hear my prayer. I don't know, but you'll be surprised with some of these. Now, I'm inclined to go research and Google the name. Exposed genitalia from the rear of the female breast, most likely probably was the breast, are specifically deemed to be a threat to institutional order, security, and safety, and a threat to inmate rehabilitation, and are prohibited. This prohibition shall not apply to patently medical, artistic, anthropological, or educational commercial publications, including without limit to National Geographic, works of art displayed in public galleries, art news, and anatomy texts or comparable materials. I feel like it's just racially biased because even Facebook has this thing where they'll say, oh, well, this violates community standards, right? And they say, unless it has artistic value. So you saying the book doesn't have fucking value? Because, hello, this is literature here, right? This is art, but it's bogus. It's bogus, so I think they sent the book back. Let me see. I'll go through it. Not here, but when I put these books back in the bin, and we'll figure out. And then I'm gonna post it. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna post it to Ubawa's page on Facebook and on Instagram, and I'll probably also take a picture of this letter. And we can be the judge. We'll see. J. Rice Sr. You know what I wonder? Whatever happened to GPA? Remember the poet GPA? Whatever happened to him? Where are they now? We gotta do a series like that. Where are these people? Some are still around, but Tracy E. Christian. Make you wonder. Laura T. Johnson. She's been around for a minute. One of her books. Nellie Anita Wosu. And there are a number of African authors who follow and support Ubawa too. J. Azamara. We are international. Internationally known. Clara Allen. Another one. Cynthia Blue. She sent a lot. Another one from Cynthia Blue. She want to make sure she's known. Rashida Carter, last but not least. And then I have some Ubawa magazines here. This is from that movie I went to go see. This is Bill Street. Yeah, some Ubawa magazines. This is issue 24. Right now, I think we're on issue 46. So this was issue 24, as you guys can see. Issue 33. Wow, issue 29. Amazing. Way back. The throwback. Throwback, issue 17, dated June 2017. Doing the wrapper. Alright, so having said that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I believe they sent the book back. So with that, we're going to see what's going on with this inappropriate book that was banned from this prison institution. We'll see, and we'll be the judge. All right, so feel free to drop your comments below. If you have questions, you can reach out to me directly by sending an inbox message or sending a message directly to our email address at obawafoundation@gmail.com. Visit our website at obawa.org. Feel free to explore the website. I'm sure you'll find something there for you, and share this page, share this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.